Assalamualaikum and hi, we are from AC 1105C. Today, we would like to present our group project which entitled Definitions for Small and Medium Enterprises in Malaysia. Without waste any time, let's get started. My name is Mohammad Syahmi bin Mohammad Dalbi. I am from group 2. In this group, I have 4 other members which is Ahmad Nabil Hakim bin Amir Rushdan, Uwais Adnin bin Mohammad Yusoff, Najwan bin Farid Reezal, and Izz Adli Bin Naszeli as well. Small and medium-sized enterprises were known as businesses that maintain revenues, assets, or a number of employees below a certain quantity. However, each country has its own definition of what constitutes a small and medium-sized enterprise. Small and medium-sized enterprises employ fewer than 250 people. It will be subdivided into micro-enterprises, small enterprises, and medium-sized enterprises. First of all, I would like to explain about rational definitions for small and medium enterprises. Generally, there is no common definition for small and medium enterprises in Malaysia, so that small and medium enterprises will be recognized and identified based on 3 criteria, which is annual sales turnover, number of employees, and shareholders' funds. On 9 June 2005, the National SME Development Council has approved the common definitions of small and medium enterprises across economic sectors. This will be explained by my group members after this. By that, it will facilitate better identification of SMEs across sectors, provision of technical and financial assistance, and enabling more effective formulation of SME policies.
Thank you, Syahmi, for the great introduction. Now, let me continue the coverage of definitions for SME in Malaysia. For wider coverage and applicability, definitions of SMEs will be based on 2 criteria, which is number of employees and annual sales turnover. As a result, if a company fulfills a required number of employees or annual sales turnover, it will be categorized as a SME. Now, we look at the sectors that have implemented definition coverage for SMEs. There are 4 sectors. Primary agriculture is the first sector. Primary agriculture is a biologically based approach for producing agricultural products. The manufacturing sector, which includes agro-based product, is the second sector. Manufacturing is the process of turning raw materials into finished things using labor, machinery, tools, and biological or chemical processing or formulation. Agro-processing is a manufacturing subsector that benefits from agricultural, fishery, and forestry-based source materials and intermediate goods. The third sector is manufacturing-related services, which include information and communication technologies (ICT), are the fourth sector. The third tier of the 3-tiered economy is the service sector, also known as the tertiary sector. This sector produces services such as maintenance and repairs, training, and consulting rather than products. Services provided by ICT system to one or more internal or external users are referred to as ICT services. Let's move to the next page. For consistency and comparability of data across sectors, the working definition for SMEs in the mining and quarrying sector and construction sector will be based on the SME definition for the services sector. The classification of economic activities will be based on the Malaysian Standard Industrial Classification (MSIC) 2000 codes to ensure comparability of data from diverse sources and to assist data harmonization across the various providers of SME statistics. The list of approved SME definitions is not exhaustive and may be amended. The National SME Development Council may amend or expand this document from time to time to reflect changes in operating and business situations. Now, I will pass to Izz and let him continue the presentation.
Thank you so much, Encik Nabil. So, my name is Izz Adli, and as for my part, I will be presenting approved SME definitions. So first, I will be talking about the definition for primary agriculture, which consists of 2 things: general definition and specific definition. General definition: a small and medium enterprise in primary agriculture is an enterprise with full-time employees not exceeding 50 or annual sales turnover not exceeding 5 million Malaysian ringgit. Specific definition: a micro-enterprise in primary agriculture is an enterprise with full-time employees of less than 5 or with annual sales turnover of less than Rm200,000 ringgit. A small enterprise in primary agriculture is an enterprise with full-time employees of between 5 and 19 or with annual sales turnover of between Rm200,000 or less than Rm1 million. A medium enterprise in primary agriculture is an enterprise with full-time employees of between 20 and 50 or with annual sales turnover of between Rm1 million and Rm5 million. Next is the definition for manufacturing including agro-base and MRS, which consists of two things: general definition and specific definition. General definition: a small and medium enterprise in manufacturing, and MRS is an enterprise with full-time employees not exceeding 150 or with annual sales turnover not exceeding 25 million Malaysian ringgit. Specific definition: a micro-enterprise in manufacturing and MRS is an enterprise with full-time employees of less than 5 or with annual sales turnover of less than Rm250,000. A small enterprise in manufacturing and MRS is an enterprise with full-time employees of between 5 and 50 or with annual sales turnover of between Rm250,000 ringgit and less than Rm10 million. A medium enterprise in manufacturing and MRS is an enterprise with full-time employees of between 51 and 150 or with annual sales turnover of between Rm10 million and Rm25 million. So that's all from me. Next, I will be passing this presentation to Firhan Najwan. Thank you.
Services, including ICT. The general definition for services: a small and medium enterprise in services is an enterprise with full-time employees not exceeding 50 or annual sales turnover not exceeding 5 million ringgit. Specific definition for services: a micro-enterprise in services is an enterprise with full-time employees less than 5 or with annual sales turnover of less than 200,000 ringgit. 3.4. The table below summarizes the proof SME definition based on number of full-time employees. And for 3.5 is the table summarize the proof SME definition based on annual sales turnover.
Thank you for the explanation by Firhan. Now, I, Uwais Adnin bin Yusoff, will continue the presentation by explaining the application of a proof SME definition. First of all important parties interacting with SMEs must adopt the approved definition. This also includes the financial institution as well as the ministries and agencies at federal and state level. Next, the scope of the application should include data collection, development of SME policies and programs, and identification of eligibility status for SMEs financial assistance and support programs. However, additional eligibility requirement might be imposed depending on specific development objective of respective stakeholders. Then, for data collecting purposes, all relevant ministries, government agencies, and financial institutions should keep the data on companies and businesses based on both yearly sales turnover and the number of full-time employees. The stakeholders that are unable to collect and return the data based on both criteria must notify the Secretariat of which criteria being used, either the yearly sales turnover or the number of full-time employees. Finally, all stakeholders involved in the SME development must synchronize their data collection procedures based on the size and sectoral classification being explained previously by my groupmates. This will allow the data to be compared across institutions and give useful statistics for better understanding the status, issues, and development needs of SMEs across all sectors. Now, I am going to pass the presentation back to Syahmi.
Usage of common identifier. All stakeholders should adopt a common identifier, which is business or company registration number in SME data collection and maintenance for ease of verification and cross-referencing across database. Last but not least, Secretariat to the National SME Development Council. If there's any queries, please contact those numbers that have been stated below, or can easily go to the address given.
Thank you to Syahmi. With that concludes our video presentation. Thank you for watching.